How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm alright, thank you.
Is this going on right now? Is this happening? Are we live on the air?
Well, not technically live, I suppose.
We're actually in the past right now.
Floating
That's how
towards the
you are.
future.
That's how this is being experienced right now.
You are, yeah, that's completely right. So
Hello
what I
from
wanna
the past, from the recent past.
So what I want to start with, I'll start with you, Stephen. Do you remember the first album you ever bought?
Me? The first, my parents brought me back an ABBA record when I was like 5 or 6 from Sweden.
What was your impression of that band?
I mean, anytime I got my hands on a record back then, I was just like, it was great because it was mine, it belonged to me, and I loved it. I had that, and I know there was a Bay City Rollers record. A bit later, it got cooler with the Kiss band and the Pink Floyd band and the Cars band and all that. But and then my dad had some sort of African drum record that was in his collection. He didn't have he had the Beatles Red album. But I remember I asked if I could. I liked the way it looked, and I asked if I could have it, and he said yes. So I took it. And I don't know if it was either that or the ABBA record. I can't remember which ABBA record it was.
And you say you were quite young, so did it take long from that point to you wanting to be a musician or wanting to make music?
I just wanted to from as long as I can remember. And even before, getting a guitar, I had a band with my next door neighbor and the kid up the block where maybe when I was 7 or 8 where we would play along to Kiss Alive on like tennis racket and like pillow cushions and milk crates, and we had a band. It was
Tennis rackets.
Yeah, and it was cool because whoever got to do the drum solo, that was we all rotated. So you got to be Peter Criss, you got to be Ace Frehley or Gene Simmons, or unfortunately sometimes Paul Stanley. And
who was your favorite?
Ace Frehley, by far.
Why?
The spaceman. He's like the coolest.
Okay, and for you, was your trajectory into music similar?
I don't know. Probably not entirely similar.
Do you remember the first album you bought?
First album I bought, was Kilroy Was Here by Styx.
Okay.
On cassette.
Why this album?
I heard someone had it at school and played it in gym class or something, which is like, PE class. And I liked the first, I liked the Mr. Roboto song, I liked the vocoder.
Do you still have that thing?
Yeah, I still have it, yeah.
Do you ever play it? Or
it's not not really. I still love that song, but I don't know if I wouldn't say it's a great record, great album. I still like that. It's a good place to have started because I'm still really into vocoders.
It's kind of funny that of all Styx records, that was your first. It kind of suits you with the vocoder and that era of Styx. It's not their shining moment, but I really love that song as well. So cheers to that, bro.
Well, it was contemporary too. I bought it, it had just come out, I guess, in 1983, 82, 83, yeah.
Is it a soundtrack?
No, but it is sort of it's a quasi kind of like rock opera.
Okay, it wasn't along with Queen. The Queen all did Flash Gordon.
Queen did the soundtrack for Flash Gordon, yeah.
The Styx wasn't on the Flash Gordon soundtrack as well.
No.
No Styx.
But they were shooting for a similar kind of
vibe.
Slightly Broadway, cabaret, rock and roll, fantasy, rock opera type vibe.
Similar to Aldo Nova.
But anyway, yeah, that was the first tape. The favorite tape I had was a mixtape that my uncle had made. That was it had "Wish You Were Here" or "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" on one side and a couple 10cc songs.
Right.
And then the other side was Oxygen by Jean-Michel Jarre. I spent a lot of time listening to that growing up, and just the idea of music being this sort of magical, cosmic world that I had no idea how it was made
And
back then, you know.
for the both of you, and obviously you're a musician now, so you know how it's being made in a way, but
To a certain degree.
has your experience of the music changed since those days? Because you've become a professional musician?
Yeah, I mean, once you kind of learn how things are made, it sort of demystifies certain aspects of them, but that sort of, the magical quality of the unknown, you still respond to that, I think, when you hear it. Like, it's like this part of you that it resonates with, that hasn't changed since then.
Is that you mentioned the unknown? Is that what you're looking for when you are being creative or when you're making music?
Looking for a which?
The unknown, in a way.
Yeah, I guess so.
To some degree. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Harnessing the unknown as best you can.
It's kind of a drag, learning tricks or whatever. But it's, you know, it's nice. But sometimes it's like you're like, guys, check out this song. And instead of listening to the song, we just all sit around and be like, oh, that's a... And you kind of actually miss the magic of the music happening, but that's part of being a music nerd, I guess, you know? But it's fun to dissect things.
Sure.
Because, I mean, I don't know, I guess when you're a kid or just, you know, you don't know the difference between like an ARP and a BC Rich, you know? Then you learn the differences and you go, huh, well, let down.
And when it came to the latest album, 4, a lot of artists say that music is kind of a reflection of a certain period in time. Was that the case for you as well?
I don't think for this record. There wasn't much reflecting or... No.
Because well, because your previous album they was released in 2010. You then went, I believe, on separate ways after touring. When did the moment come to get back together?
We got back together like a few times. We did a couple tours and we took a few stabs at writing and stuff for a bit. Weren't exactly fruitful. But I think what we did all in the meantime kind of eventually all led to, you know, making this record and the way it sounds and where everyone is at in their life. And it was because of that, I think it was an easier record to make.
Than the previous one?
Than the last one, anyways. There's just a weight lifted that was like, maybe there was more expectations last time, but also things were not from like outer forces, but just within ourselves as like, what do we want to do? We were, you know, with each record, like, what do you want to do? How's it different? How much do you want to change it or whatever?
Did you need that break after the tour for the third album?
We need it because it happened, definitely.
Yeah, we had done a lot of touring and made 3 records and a few other recording projects as well.
Sure.
But yeah, we felt like it was time to take a little bit of a break and then take stock of where we're at, you know. So yeah, it was a needed break in hindsight.
And then, well, you say the first kind of get-togethers weren't that fruitful. Do you now, in retrospect, know why they weren't that fruitful?
It was just more like the finding where we wanted to go, and I think it was once we had like a little group of friendly songs that got along, then it was like, oh, then it sparked like little light bulbs went off in everyone's head of ideas that they may have or things that we had tried way before or places we wanted to go. So it was kind of just trying to find ground zero again and where you go from there.